he did not push back against the fucking right-wingers who were adopting him and championing him because it's free publicity. He's a businessman. He's gonna ride that wave as long as it fucking carries him. It's like a legitimate Mexican standoff. But just because you're a free speech advocate on YouTube doesn't make you qualified to set platform standards for a multinational, multi-million user platform. Nor does anybody really actually understand how to do that. Okay, so Tim Pool and all of the so-called liberals of the internet, who really just shill conservative values and conservative media and conservative politicians, they're now starting to realize that Elon Musk was never really working with them and he was playing them a fool because he is a businessman. He's not a political actor. He's not some fucking he's not some fucking like Deus Ex Machina, deliver us away from the wokeness and deliver us upon the free speech. Free speech. That was never his position in this world. He was always meant to be a rich guy who maybe sometimes has some good inventions that will push us forward in some way, shape, or form just because he pushed the mold. And you know what? We can be fine with that. We can be fine with that. But these fucking conservatives are so goddamn caught up in this culture war that they believed that Elon Musk was going to save free speech on Twitter? Pussies. Anyways, yeah, here's Tim Pool and all of his, Timcast cronies, popping off at Elon Musk.
All right, so our first story, ladies and gentlemen. Elon Musk says he met with Latino civil rights leader, but the organization says...
By the way, I put this on 2x speed, and he almost speaks at a normal pace.
He's a rogue ex-employee. Okay, sure. In a separate statement, the leaders of the NAACP, the National Urban League, and National Action Network blasted Musk for unleashing the worst of human nature. You see, Elon, look, man, we were fans because you said you liked the Babylon Bee, because you pushed back on the establishment. And then the moment you get into Twitter, not even a week later, you go crawling to these organizations to try and he tweets this out, to let them know how we're going to be handling hate and harassment. And what do? They attack you for it. Twitter owner Elon Musk, I love that phrase, said early Wednesday that he spoke with leaders of various civil rights groups about his efforts to combat hate and harassment. Except one organization they met with a rogue employee who was fired last month, and another attendee blasted the mogul for unleashing the worst of human nature. Actually, he said that he unwittingly freed people to unleash the worst of human nature, with communities of color and religious minorities bearing the greatest burden. So,
you see, and this is also the position that Elon Musk has got himself caught in, because he did not push back against the fucking right-wingers who were adopting him and championing him because it's free publicity. He's a businessman. He's gonna ride that wave as long as it fucking carries him. Like, do you think he's fucking dumb? No, if he gets free publicity, he's gonna take the free fucking publicity. So now that he's been tied up with all these conservative actors, and at the same time, he's been wanting to buy Twitter and make it cool and popular and hip and whatever the fuck, right? He wanted to make it Twitter again or something. And now everybody in the situation is worse for wear, because not only does Elon Musk not know what the fuck he's doing with the platform of Twitter, but also the conservatives who hitched onto the bandwagon and started riding the train are just left with a fucking bum engine and nowhere to go. They're stuck in the middle of fucking bumfuck Colorado or some shit. I don't know. Some flyover state, dude. Like, they're just stuck in the middle of fucking nowhere. They're just stuck in the middle of nowhere, screaming for Elon to come back and save them again. They need him back. Please, Elon. Please. Please. It's never gonna work, though. I feel bad for everyone in a sense, but only to an extent. Because the conservatives, I keep calling them conservatives, fuck. The conservatives and the liberals, in quotes, they've been riding this nigga's dick since he said free speech will come back to Twitter. They've been riding this nigga's dick since then, and it's kind of goofy that they thought that he was really going to be that guy. Because, dog, since when has Elon Musk ever once given any sort of indication on his actual political leanings? When genuinely? Like, he'll make an occasional funny post, but he doesn't talk politics. He talks fucking retarded rich guy, which, like, that's most of the blue checks on Twitter. Just retarded rich people who have no time who have, I should say, all the time in the world. So I mean, I don't know. It's just funny overall, but I feel bad for the people who genuinely thought that he was going to do something. Oh man.
Bravo, Elon. He tweeted, talk to civil society leaders about how Twitter will continue to combat hate and harassment and enforce its election integrity policies. Ah, yes. What's that all about? You see, I'm actually blocked from seeing the tweet from this DeResta woman. Yoel Roth says, we're staying vigilant against attempts to manipulate conversations about the 2022 midterms. Read on for independent analysis of our team's work. And he linked to a woman who was an executive, I believe she was an executive or some high-ranking position, with new knowledge. An organization that was outed for creating bots for manufacturing or doing something. They sent them towards Roy Moore so that the media would think he was being propped up by Russians. That's what this organization was doing, and Elon's consulting them on election integrity. Okay, I'll tell you what I think. The advertisers went to Elon right away and said, we're pulling out. He said, wait. Like, we're going to keep policing hate. Trust me, don't leave, we need your money. And they said, we don't care. Then he said, okay, fine, we'll charge $20. Then the left said, no, we're not paying $20. He goes, okay, fine, $8. And you know, we said, we were like, okay, like if under the assumption that Elon's going to fix the platform and do right by free speech and actual American values, I'll spend more than $8. Then Elon has the nerve to come out and be like, actually, we're going to combat hate with the very same grievance organizations that will never be satisfied. And why? If they are satisfied, they cease to exist. None of these people are going to come out and be like, my job here is done. Fire me because there's no more hate anymore. There will always be hate. If it's not a racial slur, it's the word groomer. So Elon Musk pandering these people is a waste of our time. I'll tell you this. I am not going to spend any money. Elon, he comes out and he's like, it's going to be 8.
You see, this is one of the many problems that has arisen from the culture war. For a long time, the left went completely unchecked in terms of its social rhetoric and what is and isn't defined as like hate or bigotry, for example. Like the idea that there's always going to be hate is not some fucking profound concept. Of course there's always going to be hate, you dipshit. Of course there is. Nobody ever said there was never going to be any more hate. Dude, people can have the goal of ending hate, but you know what that means? That means that they're going to be fighting an everlasting, never-winning fight. Because hate will always be there. And no matter how long we try to fight it, it will always persist. Even though we could bully it back into corners and beat it back and kick the shit out of it, it's still going to be there. Because we're humans. We have feelings, right? We have feelings that are very intricate and hard to understand. We're not fucking robots. So yeah, the idea that there's always going to be hate and that these people are trying to fight it is not a new concept. This is something that we've been doing since, especially in this country, since the 1800s. So I don't know what this idea that combating hate is a bad thing is. Now, on the other hand, the left presents hate as essentially anything that goes against minorities, which is not necessarily hate, right? Like, you can hold prejudiced views of people and not hate them, right? I'm pretty sure. Like, you can think that, like, a certain type of people will act a certain type of way, but you don't hate them. You might be racist, but that's not hateful necessarily. Like, racism and hatefulness and bigotry are not necessarily in and of themselves bad. They in and of themselves create an avenue to bad things. So what we try to do is we try to prevent people from developing these bad views about other people, and we try to prevent them from going down these bad paths so that we don't have to worry about hate and bigotry anymore, right? I think the main problem is the left for so long has had the societal reins of power and been able to force their like ideology down everyone's throats to such an extent that I don't think that there was any room for legitimate pushback until very recently. But it's like a volcano erupted, and now it just doesn't feel any sort of tenable anymore. I don't know. Like, the way that the right wants to react to the left, and the way the left wants to force the right onto their side or out of society is scary. It's very scary. Because there's very little room for rational actors in that situation. It's like a legitimate Mexican standoff where everybody's got the guns cocked back, every single bullet is in the chamber, and basically every one of them is as close to squeezing the trigger as you possibly can be without squeezing the trigger. I don't know, man. It's a very tense situation trying to rationalize this stuff to people who are not so politically and ideologically driven. Like parsing through the bullshit and just being able to have a conversation about these things has completely and utterly faded away. Um, which is why I don't necessarily try to present these things as though I understand them, but I try to create a conversation around it. I'd rather talk about these things than convince people of other things. I'd rather try to get to the root cause and work on that rather than, fighting in the weeds. I'd rather get to the roots. I'm out here gardening, nigga, and I gotta uproot some shit. You feel me?
$8, keep complaining. All right, bro, look. I think there's a net positive here with you buying the platform. I'm not going to spend a penny. I canceled Twitter Blue. It was bad enough I had in the first place. I'm actually, the moment I saw he did this, I was like, okay, I'm giving them less money now. The moment he did this. So I'll tell you, if he releases the information on the DHS and how Twitter was colluding with the government, I'll pay $8. But he's also got to free the political prisoners and fire the people who were involved in the Hunter Biden laptop scandal.
Yeah, this was disappointing because he kind of tweeted it like he was bragging about it. And, you mentioned some of the organizations, but some of them you did mention.
Wait, what the fuck was that?
Organizations, but some of them you did mention.
What the fuck is that? Hold up. What is this? What is this? Oh, it's gonna be a song. Oh. I forgot Tim Pool makes music.
Mentioned were individuals, the president, the vice president of the ADL, the NAACP, the George Bush Foundation. What, Satan wasn't available? Truly, are you kidding me? And then you're bragging about how you're going to be continuing the policies when it comes to.
I hope all these lame ass fucking conservatives realize that Kyrie Irving does not fuck with any of them. I hope they realize that. I hope they realize that if they ever sat down and talked to Kyrie Irving, he would probably have a screaming match with every single one of them. Because they're retards. Right? They're retards. And they only want to care about Kyrie Irving because of his positions with the vaccine. That's the only reason they stand with him. Unless they also stand with his comments about anti-Semitism. Who knows?
Hate and election interference. And again, this clearly shows a signal that this is going in the wrong direction. And I'm happy at this time that I have my own website, that I have my own platform. You're probably happy, Tim, that you have your own platform as well, because at the end of the day, this is very disappointing news and shows us that we're going down a very bad road.
I'm a huge advocate of knowing thine enemy and working with your foe. I think Abraham Lincoln talked about it. The best way to win over an enemy, to destroy an enemy, is to make them your friend, your ally. Not only do you no longer have an enemy, but you have an extra ally in case another enemy appears. So I'm into this idea of like getting to know the people that are against you, but at the same time, Trump putting Bolton in his cabinet early on, bad move. Obama getting the Goldman Sachs team or all these like bankers into his cabinet or in his inner circle right away. They start to manipulate you. When you surround yourself with people, you become those people. Like you are a result of your closest 6 friends or something. So at some point, you got to just cut. You got to cut and run and make a move. I think that Elon came into this with no real plan, and now he's trying to build a plan quickly. That's why he wanted to back up. But take a look at this. This is from the Federalist. Elon Musk caps Jussie Smollett hoaxer for Twitter censorship advice. Brilliant. Look, man, I like Elon. He does a lot of really cool stuff, but he has an opportunity to talk to people, and he's choosing to talk to the people who made the problems. One of these guys says, "What more evidence does Chicago police need to call what happened to Jussie Smollett? What it is, a hate crime." This guy started.
Is Tim Pool mad that Elon Musk didn't like go to like him or like Joe Rogan or some shit to to set Twitter policy? Because I don't know if he knows this, but just because you're a free speech advocate on YouTube doesn't make you qualified to set platform standards for a multinational, multi-million user platform. Nor does anybody really actually understand how to do that, because nobody should have that power. It should just go by the laws. But that's my opinion. Nobody should have to set that shit. That should be left to the people who understand what is and isn't legal and legal speech. And if it's an American-based company, they should follow our very liberal and very open free speech policy. So ultimately, I wish that it was just like a Fediverse, whatever the fuck that shit was called. I think that was, I think that's what it was called, whatever the fuck it was. the parlor shit where it was all kind of interconnected on a non-controlled network or some shit. I can't remember what the fuck it was. It was way back when. It was like way back when. I can't even remember when, but it was a long time ago. At least in my short lifespan, it feels like a long time ago. But regardless, I kind of wish it was like that. It would save a lot of hassle and a whole lot of bitching and moaning, because then everybody who works on these platforms would just have to worry about removing the illegal speech rather than like trying to apply their fucking obtuse ass rules to everything that gets posted on the platform. Like, I don't know. I don't think anybody really understands Twitter's rules. Not even the people who write the Twitter rules understand Twitter's rules. That's why I you should just let people say whatever the fuck they want, and if it's illegal speech, then we take it the fuck off. Otherwise, people should just push those people with bad speech away. You know, as in beat them back with good speech and good thought, and let them go off into their own little subsect of the platform. I don't know. Just weird to me that these motherfuckers all have something to say about Elon Musk once he decides to start trying to do something with Twitter that they don't like, just like everybody fucking else before him, because they don't actually have principles. They just want people to be like them. That's all they want. They just want everybody to be like them. And they just want people to fall in line with me. My thinking's right. So fall in line with me, brothers and sisters and enemies. Fall in line. Like, shut the fuck up, nigga. Go home, get some sleep.